Here we have a table in which we are given the calorie count for a sample of beef hot dogs, the calorie count for a sample of meat hot dogs, and a calorie count for a sample of poultry hot dogs. Here we are to determine whether the mean calorie content for each type of hot dogs are the same. So here we'll state our hypotheses. The null hypothesis will be that the mean calorie content for the beef hot dogs is equal to the mean calorie content of the meat hot dogs, which is also equal to the mean calorie count of the poultry hot dogs. The alternative would be simply that this is not true. In other words, at least one of the two means has to be significantly different than one of the others. So we'll conduct our hypothesis test. But first we must enter in each of the three data sets. So if you press Stat and then choose Edit, notice we have our list L1, L2, and L3, and I've already entered each of the values in from the sets. So now that I've got my data entered into my list L1, L2, and L3, I now want to run the ANOVA test. So I'll press second mode to quit, then press Stat, or arrow over to Test, and then choose, in this case it's my last option, ANOVA. And so now that I have the command ANOVA, I need to enter in each of the lists for each of the columns. So press second and 1 for L1, and then press the comma key. Then second and 2 for L2, press the comma key. And then second and 3 for L3, I'll close my parentheses. So now I'm ready to run my ANOVA test on these three independent samples. So press enter. And so here I have my test statistic, which is an F statistic, which is 16.074. And we have the p-value, which is 3.86, again, times 10 to the negative 6 power. And so I have written here 0.000000386. This is a very small p-value. So our conclusion would be that at least one of these means is different. In other words, it is not the case that all the means are the same. If we want to investigate a little bit further as to which one is different, we could on the calculator illustrate this using some box plots. And so if you press second and the y equal key, notice here we can turn on our plots. And so in this case, if I look at plot 1, I've turned on a box plot using list L1. And if I look at plot 2, I've entered in the box plot for L2, it'll be in red. And if I choose plot 3, it's also going to be a box plot for the list in L3, and it'll be black. And so if I press zoom and then choose option number 9 for zoom stat, I here have my box plots. So the beef and the meat hot dogs are in the blue and the red, and the poultry is in the black. And so obviously, if one of the means is going to be different, it looks like the poultry calorie content on average is going to be significantly less on average than the mean contents for meat and beef.